I finally got a chance to look at Litecoin a little bit more in depth and try and figure out this Elliott wave count. So, it's been a strange structure because it's not cleanly, 5 waves down or 3 waves down. Um, it looks quite a bit more complex than that. So, I've gone in and I've found a count that I think works. So I'm going to share that with you now. The first thing I like to do though is, when I see price structure like this, I always want to draw a channel, right? And I want to see, can I connect the tops? Can I connect the bottoms? Can I create some kind of structure that's going to tell me, where things are going to bounce, where they're going to top, and not only that, but give me some geometry to group, different price actions, different peaks and valleys, so I know, what's kind of working in synchrony together and what's outside of that standard pattern. So if you draw this channel here, we can see that it fits pretty well. So it suggests that all this price action is part of the same structure coming down. So to get this count right, let us go into the 1 minute time frame. Surprisingly, I found that the 1 minute actually works pretty well. And whenever I struggle with an Elliott wave count, what I do is I just try and identify piece by piece the structures that I can, and then based on those structures that I identify, then I connect it and I create larger structures. But I try not to force a narrative on it. I want to just label the things that are obvious to me that I see, and then see what it suggests. So if we start up here, this doesn't really look like 5 waves down. It looks really more like 1, 2, 3. So we'll label that an A, B, C. And that makes a lot of sense because normally with the C wave you're going to get 5 waves internal, so for it to be kind of extended versus the AB, that works. Coming down here, this does look like 5 waves, and I tweeted this out yesterday. So let's go ahead and mark that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then coming over here, we also have what looks like 5, kind of with an extended 5th wave. So let's go ahead and mark that. So from this peak, we have, and I tweeted about this triangle here too, which is kind of in an odd space. But if you look at it, it actually makes sense because this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4 with this triangle and a 5. So we're going to label this kind of one level higher as a 1. And then this is going to be our 2. Then we have another 1, 2, 3, and another triangle. So this is 3, and this is our triangle top, and then we have an extended 5th down here. And with this structure here, you kind of want to be careful. You want to make sure that the 3rd wave is not the shortest. Otherwise, you have invalidation of Elliott wave rules. So I measured this previously, but if you look at it, you can see, if we take this 1 to 2, if we take this 1 wave extension and project it from 2, we can see that wave 3 is just a little bit longer, so it doesn't invalidate any Elliott wave rules. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then coming down here we have a very clear 5 waves as well. Let's go ahead and label that. And here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then kind of another extended 5 down there. Oops, okay, all right. So now that we have these labeled, you can also clearly see that these are ABCs going up. I tweeted about these yesterday as well. This one kind of goes like a B, C. And then here we have another A, B, leading into some kind of C. This is kind of like a triangle, so actually we could put this down here, right? And then we have another A, B, C. A, B, C. All right. So given this structure, and we have, let me go ahead and label this. So this is kind of been developing as I've been analyzing the Elliott wave here. And I'll get into this structure kind of going, after this. But it looks like, it's breaking out separate from this channel. So that's a good sign. So to me, we have kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we also have A, B, C, and we're putting in kind of another 5 wave here. All right, so let's zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to show you kind of what I see. So, now that we have this structure laid out, we can just start connecting. So if we start from the top left, what we have is an ABC, a 3-wave, a 3-wave, and a 5-wave. Well, that together is going to be an ABC of a larger degree. So label that ABC. I'm going to make this higher degree. Right, I'll show the wave there. So that's ABC. And then we have, another 3-wave, a 5-wave, 3-wave, and a 5-wave. And the way I see this is I see, this is actually one other ABC. So we have a 5, 3, and a 5. So if I label this as ABC, A, B, C. All right, then what we end up with is 2 ABCs joined by a 3-wave. And we know that that is actually a WXY correction, right? And just to show you that this does kind of make sense, if we do extensions from these A, B to C's, they're close enough to kind of what we'd expect. They're a little bit extended. Like this one is 2, right? But it is somewhat around a fib level that kind of makes sense. It's more extended than I'd like to see, but when Bitcoin dumped, things got pretty bearish. So we go here, A to B. This is a 1.0 level, and that's much more typical of like an ABC correction, right? So I think that although it's not perfect, the price structure makes sense, and the fib levels are within reason. So let me show you kind of how we're going to connect this then. So we can do this ABC. Our 3-wave would be the W, and then we have a 3-wave connector, and then we have a 3-wave down for our WXY, basically a double 3 combination, right? Get this, sometimes it just doesn't want to snap. Okay, so that takes care of the price structure here. We go down in 3 waves of a higher degree for our correction, and now we're seeing 1 impulse wave, a 3-wave down, and another impulse wave that's breaking this channel. So that suggests that this is kind of part of another structure, and what we typically expect, and how I'm going to project this is I'm going to use a zigzag, right? So if we have a 3-wave, we're looking for kind of another 3-wave and then 5 waves down to create an ABC of a higher degree, and kind of everything beyond the point of this channel is all extrapolation, right? So it might not play out this way, but this is kind of the exercise that I like to go through to kind of figure out where I think price is going to be headed. So we have 3 waves here. We have an ABC. What we can do is, if we know if this is going to be an ABC, that we're going to have to see some kind of 5-wave impulse here. We're kind of getting the beginning of it. There's no way to know kind of exactly how far it's going to go yet, but if we do an extension, we can see some likely targets, right? For where this ABC can end. 1.0 is very reasonable. 1.236 is reasonable. 1.618 is reasonable. This could even be a 5-wave impulse beginning in kind of a smaller degree, and it can grow from here. The other thing is, if this is going to play as an ABC, we're going to look for some kind of fib retracement, right, of this prior move down. So if we move this here, you can kind of see where we get some confluence. And I would expect for any kind of correction, if we're going to do a zigzag here, Elliott wave basically says that the B wave is going to retrace at least to 0.5. It can go all the way to 0.618, even higher, but I see, quite a bit of price resistance kind of beyond that point here. And so it might not get that high. I don't think that it will. You can see, we kind of put in a strong level here and a strong level here as well. So 0.5 looks like high probability. It might go a little bit higher, but we'll just have to see. So based on this, right, if we have an ABC, this looks like a pretty good zone for where price might stop, and also around here. So we can kind of project out. We can do an A, B, C, and I like this level here, but it could stop kind of before that. We're going to have to see how this wave plays out. So if we put this kind of around here, and it could go higher, right? It could go and it could retest the bottom of the wedge. That wouldn't be strange or abnormal at all. So we put this here. Then what we're doing is we're basically looking for another 5 wave down, right? So we're trying to make an ABC of a higher degree. We have 3 waves, and then we're going to look for 5 waves coming down. So let me get rid of these fibs now. I'm going to keep this one. And we're going to do a fib extension from A to our proposed B and see where that gets us, right? So I'm going to zoom out here. And what I want to do is, I want to pick a termination point for B that's going to coincide with some termination points for this larger ABC zigzag. And again, this is all extrapolation, so there's no guarantee that price is going to do this. It's just what I do, that the exercise that I do to kind of get some indication of where price may be going. So actually, if we use the 0.5 level, we see that that lines up really well with this level down here. Let me zoom out a little bit more, and there's good price action here, right? So it would make sense for price to retrace down here and then find some support. Let's see. This is also, I think, a very, very strong level, 618. I'd be surprised if it makes it past the 618 just because it looks like such a strong support. But based on this extension, 618 looks like it's short, and it's kind of in between these fibs, so it doesn't suggest that price is going to stop here. If we take the current price level, before I did this video, this price structure wasn't here, but it looks like price may be topping out here soon. So if we use this extension, then we do get a 618 extension, and that does hit the 618 level here too. So I think that these two levels are likely. If this bounce gets much higher, then it's possible we're going to do some kind of double bottom here, but I think that that's unlikely. Based on this price structure, I'm thinking we get the highest of this bounce is going to be around here, and I think the lowest that we're going to get, assuming this is kind of an idealized ABC, is to this what is this, 764 level? Yeah, 764 level. Down at about $125. I think the high probability area is $132, and this bounce looks like it might be topping out soon. So I'm going to go ahead and post this video, but you can see, 5-minute RSI is getting up there. I do see some subdivision, right? There's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves coming in. So again, this could be of a larger degree, but I don't think that that really makes sense to see kind of a larger degree here. I think this may be kind of the top of the bounce. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and I will keep you guys updated as price develops. Thanks for watching.